Hey, welcome to our podcast, Project Brightside, where we always look on the bright side, even when things are looking pretty dark. I'm Shelby Flohr,
And I'm Richard Brito.
and we're your hosts for today's episode. Topics of discussion for our podcast include society and culture, education, and TV and film.
Each episode will have an interview of a guest speaker followed by a Bright Talk segment where we discuss a complicated topic in hopes of shining light on it.
For today's episode, we will be interviewing our Chief Research Officer, Zoe. Hey Zoe, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We're so excited to have you today.
Hello, Zoe. How was your day?
My day was good.
Yeah, to me, mine was pretty long today, but I'm really excited that we wrap it up with this podcast.
Okay,
Me
great.
too.
I guess we'll go ahead and get started. So the first question is really just who are you? Who is Zoe?
I am the Chief Research Officer for the Brightside Productions, LLC. I'm currently in medical school.
Nice. How's that first year going? You're about to wrap up. Before you know it, like second year is knocking on your door. How has it
Yes,
been?
it's been going well. I'm in my last semester right now, and I'm excited to have the summer off and start my second year.
That's awesome.
That's
Summer
awesome.
off, like
What are
I
you
haven't
gonna,
had that since high school.
are
So
you off, or are you gonna TA or do something like that?
I'm gonna be doing some research with the neuro director at my school. We do research on mice. We do neurosurgery on them. So I'm going to do that for a little bit. And I volunteer with some kids. I'm going to do over the summer. And I'm going on a mission trip to Costa Rica.
Oh, that's
nice.
awesome.
So, to dive a little deeper into who you are, can you list about 3 to 7 core values of what describe who you are?
Yeah, of course. I like to operate ethically with integrity, perseverance, and determination. I think it's really important to remain humble, strive to make an impactful difference, and always be supportive of the team I'm working with. And having adaptability is a key factor.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely very adaptable. I remember undergrad when you were like trying to figure out like what school and then, whichever way it went, you were gonna make your dreams come happen and you have. And I'm really proud of you. So yeah.
Thank you.
That's so awesome. So speaking about dreams, and I know we were just talking about how you're in medical school, but just in general, what do you aspire to do in life?
I aspire to be a surgeon. I have always loved surgery since I've had injuries as a kid, and the surgeons has brought me um, back to the sport I loved because I was injured in cheerleading. And ever since then, I aspire to do the same. I'm not set on a specific specialty yet, but I really like pediatrics, surgery, and neurology.
Mm.
I just finished my neurology course, and it was one of the most interesting things to me. So I would definitely be interested in being a neonatal surgeon or a pediatric neurosurgeon.
And you aced it. So
Awesome.
uh
Yes.
you're meeting so far the qualifications because I know like neuro and surgery is like very tough positions. I mean all fields within, being a doctor is difficult, but I know that they're extra competitive when it comes to placement. So I applaud you.
Thank you.
So what does your leadership experience consist of?
Yes, I was the co-manager of the mental health team on the Global Health Collaboration Project at Florida State University with you. And I am the Chief Research Officer at the Brightside Productions LLC. And currently, I got a secretary position for the dermatology club at my school,
Nice.
which I really like so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're like expanding into your community. And since you just moved there.
Yes.
That's awesome. You know, you just mentioned starting a new position as secretary, which is part of the executive board for people who might not be familiar with that. What would you say your leadership philosophy is and your leadership style?
I would say that leading with an understanding of your team members and teaching methods. I'm always there for anyone to ask questions so that I can answer them because I want my team to be able to come to me for anything. I'm very understanding and will do my best to work with anyone who needs it.
Yeah,
Therefore, I feel that teaching or leading by example portrays what you want the team to accomplish. And to me, that's very
Definitely.
important.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
So, what would you say are keys to success?
I would say humbleness, patience, passion, and persistence are the keys to success.
Definitely. I think it's very important to stay humble throughout your career because we get to see so many different people from all walks of life, and it sort of brings in like a gratefulness factor for like the privilege that has come with our success. And not forgetting the struggles and adversities that people go through, and being patient.
moving forward from that, what challenges have you faced in the past as a leader?
The main challenges that I face as leader is speaking to the team members about not pulling their weight or submitting their work on time. It's hard for me because I only want to uplift the team, so I never want to punish. However, I feel there needs to be someone to steer everyone in the right direction and get everyone on track to bring the team to their greatest potential. So
Definitely.
sometimes you need to have, yes, those boundaries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I struggle with that. Like sometimes you don't want to come off like rude, but you just have to follow protocol. Um, and you just have to try to uplift people to meet those standards, because you want the best of the best. And it's all about accepting criticism and mindfulness, not having judgment. As long as you like just improve, work on it, and try your best. That's all that matters. But most people could take it personally, or it's hard. It's definitely a learning process. Um, but yeah, those
yeah,
are great answers.
I agree. I think that is something that's really challenging, and I think it's something that's relatable to most people who have been in a leadership position. So I really love that that's the example you brought to us today. Um, I think just like Richard said, the way that you kind of give feedback to people can be challenging sometimes and just fine tuning that. And then
Hmm.
also, understanding why something might be late and kind of, talking to people about that. And then when you need to, of course, like just being direct with them about it. But that's something that I'm definitely still working on as well. So,
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I agree with you. So what are costs of assuming a leadership role? No, we've alluded to it.
On Yeah, honestly, for me, it was time. Managing and leading takes more time than someone would realize. There are organizational factors such as answering everyone's questions, ensuring the whole team is on track, and always setting a great example. I've found a way to manage my time efficiently. However, it still is a cost because you have to cut something out, in my experience, to make time for leading a team, whether going out with your friends for dinner or cutting some gym time short. I always think about it and make sure that this is something I can take on before I accept a position because I want to make sure that I'm able to lead a team efficiently and do diligent work.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to close certain chapters to start new ones. So I definitely see your point with, or understand your point with, having to like cut out one thing to be able to do another. Because we could only do so much at once, to the best of our ability. Um, but it's all about capacity and time management. And yeah, definitely facing those costs and trying to like just do your best. You could definitely mitigate some of that.
yeah, absolutely. So, you talked a little bit about the cost of a leadership role, but what are some of the benefits of assuming a leadership role?
The benefits for me are really getting to know my team and be close to my team while driving them to success. I'm very passionate about the organizations I've led and being the ship's captain. So to speak. Leadership always allows you to shape and sculpt the outcomes. I've also personally benefited by enhancing my communication, organizational, and overall confidence skills. I feel that these are things that I've really appreciated um, gaining from my leadership roles.
Yeah, that's a great reflection of your leadership experiences. And what advice would you offer others that are seeking to develop their leadership potential?
The advice I would offer is to organize everything, such as your future goals and dates. That way you can work towards meeting them. I would also make sure that your team feels comfortable to go to you with any questions, because we learn by asking and doing, and the team should always lift each other up. Nobody on the team should feel timid or scared to ask any questions. Most importantly, I think leading competently makes the team feel more comfortable, and having a passion for your work is also very essential. You can see the passion and really expand on that, and I feel like that uplifts the whole team as well.
Yeah, it's very empowering.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to our next segment, Bright Talk, where we discuss complicated topics in hopes of shining light on the matter. This week, we'll be discussing the importance of self-care and advice on how to better apply on the daily to achieve wellness. So Zoe, go ahead and kind of give us a brief introduction on the topic.
Okay. You cannot help others to the best of your ability if you aren't mentally helping yourself as well as physically. I think the most important patient is the one you see in the mirror. Just like, for example, on an airplane, the adult has to put the mask on first so they can assist the child afterward. To take a day off every week and do something that you find relaxing or enjoying, it can be getting your nails done, watching a movie, going for coffee with a friend, or having a girls' or guys' night out.
Yeah.
I feel balance is vital in every aspect of life, which is why self-care is essential. You definitely perform your best when you feel your best.
Oh,
And
yeah.
some popular self-care techniques that I like are meditation, gym time, daily affirmations, and hobbies, whether it's drawing or prayer or doing your hair.
Yeah. And I totally agree with everything you said. One thing I that really stood out to me was you perform your best when you feel your best, because that's totally like something I embody every day. If I don't look good, I don't feel good. So I have to like, I don't know, perfect some sort of thing, like whether if it's like brushing my teeth and face wash and like getting putting a nice outfit on, or just like if I'm performing, I better look good. Anyways, so you make great points, but to get more technical, I did want to bring up that there are 9 dimensions of wellness, and there are many ways that we could really uh, focus, on improving our overall wellness to reach optimal wellness. There's environmental wellness, which is essentially becoming aware of your environment, your relationship with your environment. Um, there's physical wellness, which is taking care of one's physical health, making sure you do your annual checkup, making sure that you're being active, because being active is one of the best ways to prevent disease. Emotional wellness, working on positive self-talk. If you have negative self-talk and that's all how you think about yourself and you behave based on those thoughts, it just continues and perpetuates a negative cycle. So if you change the root to positive, it could uplift you. And be open to experiencing a healthy range of emotions.
Yeah, I think those were all really good points, and I definitely want to elaborate on them a little bit more. I guess hear you elaborate a little bit more when we get through the rest of the 9. But to go forward from there, some of the other ones are spiritual wellness. So really finding or expanding your purpose or meaning of your life, whatever that might mean for you. And intellectual wellness as well. So really enhancing critical thinking, moral reasoning, and your worldviews. And also pursuing education. That doesn't necessarily have to be, further formal education. That could be, learning a new skill or just learning knowledge about something you find interesting. Occupational wellness is another one. So really engaging in your work. And I know it can be hard sometimes, but trying to pursue endeavors that really, provide satisfaction and enrich your life and align with your goals and, your core values and lifestyle instead of just going from day to day.
There's also financial wellness, which is the access to financial resources and skills that one might need to accomplish their goals or dreams. There's also creative wellness. This is super important and a part of self-actualization. Uh, you know, participating in a wide range of arts and cultural experiences so that you could better understand the world we're in. The last one of the nine is social wellness, which is participating in positive social relationships. So, some of us might be introverts, others might be extroverts. Sometimes we fluctuate between the two. Whatever the case may be, it's important to surround ourselves with positive relationships so that it doesn't like necessarily drain our energy, but it not necessarily saying that you have to like negate negative experiences because that's a part of life, but just don't make it your go-to. And it's very important to protect that space. So sometimes we might feel like we need to recharge our social battery, and that's totally okay. It's just about what you feel and navigating that to become to feel better and be well.
So I know we just listed a bunch of different things that, are important for wellness. And while that's true, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I would say the four places to start would really be the four key dimensions of self-care. So that would be your emotional, your physical, your psychological, and your spiritual health. So I'd really start there and kind of build a foundation of wellness and then really expand to all those 9 dimensions from there.
Thank you so much for an insightful interview and Bright Talk segment. It was great having you, Zoe. So for our next episode, we will be interviewing our Chief Strategy Officer and Research Director, Andres Gil Arana, and having a Bright Talk segment with him.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really enjoyed doing this episode with you guys. Thank you.
Until next time, y'all, take care.
Episode 6 was executive produced by Richard Brito, Shelby Flohr, Lou Curiosity, Zoë Rushetsky, Andres Gil Arana, Jay Curiosity, John Scrivenich, and Sophia Paez. Music by Jay Curiosity. Edited by Lou Curiosity and Richard Brito.